that pick early on.
Yeah.
Already 2 jungle bans focused at him, so we are going to go deeper into the jungle pool.
This has happened in all the games today. We've seen the double jungle bans, so, or at least in the
Or
last game.
double
That's
pick.
true, right.
Yeah, triple jungle ban actually with the Echo if you consider it, so that definitely stretches the jungle champion pool. Lee Sin, Nidalee, Sejuani, all those things will be on the table later on in the pick and ban phase.
Bard getting taken out from Aphromoo. Still plays to be made there from CLG, and they don't want him on a champion that is made to roam. So they take that away from him. One final ban. It is going to be the Rise top. Dyrus with the first pick may just be taking his lane.
Sivir?
Yeah,
Or
the
Alistar?
Alistar still left up. That has actually
Yeah.
been a few first picks today. as
I
the
like,
teams decide.
yeah, I like it. Ban Bard, pick Alistar, 2 of Aphramoo's favorites, 2 of his best performing champions as well. Pretty good early round here for TSM, all things considered. Mid lane left wide open though. And the counter pick is CLG's to choose.
Yeah, this'll... I wonder if CLG will go with conventional things or if they're going to stretch to slightly different things like yesterday. I mean, the TF Ashe Bard comp that they did yesterday was cool in theory, but with some executional mistakes, it kind of fell apart. Here, though, you'd think they'd pick a Sivir comp in group.
True enough,
Maybe.
Sivir on the board and Kalista banned, so that does spring to mind. Wildturtle can play Vayne into it if they so choose.
They're showing some love here,
the other
taking
thing-
off any nerves.
With all the jungle attention, Nunu does rise quite quickly in priority for me when you do get to move towards this stage of the game. Evelyn is still up though, also is pretty good into it. But yes, hit the nail on the head there with the Sivir.
It's what happens.
Classic.
Yeah, Kalista banned Sivir's higher priority, which is why you may have expected it from TSM with the first pick, but TSM opted for the strong support initiation. So with that, I see TSM maybe going for some early turret dives. The game we just saw, the Alistar, Maokai, Lee Sin was like best-in-class turret divers across the board.
Yeah, that was
And we saw
pretty
Team
good.
Impulse get a big early
Santorin,
advantage.
Italy, okay. I kind of like a Nunu better here though. Especially against a comp that already has a Sivir and the possibilities of Flash Gnar engages. If you already have Alistar as a front line and you add Nunu to that, your endgame DPS is great with the Nunu Blood Boil on Azir. All right, they forgo the jungle. We won't lock it in quite yet.
They did allow the Sivir to go away yesterday and pick the Jarvan into it, keep it locked in still. First time we've seen Santorin on that. Not picked up yet though. The Azir has been by Bjergsen. And let's see, the Rumble will be locked in for Dyrus in the top lane, so he
A lot
is
of magic
definitely
damage.
going to have a bit more impact here. Not just a tank for the team, but he's going to be throwing out the DPS.
Yeah, Pobelter and Bjergsen are 2 of the NA mid laners who have put a ton of games onto Azir, which makes it a priority pick, not only in general, but specifically in this matchup.
Bjergsen more recently as well.
Yeah, Bjergsen more recently. Pobelter, in the last time the TSM played CLG, was nearly the reason that CLG was able to come back. He had some spectacular Azir plays in the team fights, but ultimately, CLG fell.
Yeah, and especially with LeBlanc being nerfed, Sivir already being locked in, the Varus definitely loses value. You usually like to combo with something like Corki, so they go with mid lane AP poke instead of mid lane AD poke. Kog'Maw locked in, and there is the Evelyn.
Second time might be a charm.
Yep.
0, 6, and 3 on that Evelyn yesterday.
Taking a page out of
Throwback.
Moves book here.
He played it yesterday as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good. I mean, now you can lock down a Sivir and a Kog'Maw in the same spot. They're going to have to flash out no matter what. No tumbling or dodging out for these AD carries or DPS dealers. Interesting pickups by Team Solomid, going with the Jarvan they did last time, Wildturtle to go back on a Tristana play. I shouldn't even say back. That'll be #1 here for the summer split.
I do like the Jarvan lock-in here because a Kog'Maw is very vulnerable to Cataclysm spam, and that just means getting his flash with the first one, your cooldown is extremely low, and returning to that so you can combo with the ultimate from Rumble as well and put the Kog'Maw in the hot pot. He's got only 1 escape, and that is Flash.
And now he has 2 because Aphromoo picks Thresh with the very nice pick, saving the support till the very end. That's kind of a nice little counter at the very end of Champion Select. If I look at these teams holistically, though, I see TSM wanting a lane swap early on in the game, pushing down turrets quickly, and also trying to abuse the turret diving potential early of a Jarvan and an Alistar. Those 2 will be able to turret dive frequently throughout the game, whereas CLG, I think, has to play the lanes quite defensive for at least the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, obviously they've got that Kog'Maw AP, wants to scale up. Tilly hits Luden Zeko, a level 11. Will be the waiting game. Xmithie, though, on the Evelyn.
I don't want more waiting game. We've had way too much waiting game today.
Yeah. You're done waiting, Riv?
Done waiting.
Game.
All right.
Game.
It's time to get the fights on. It's time to get the game going. Everybody locked in with their champions now. Team Solomid versus Counter Logic Gaming to go live. TSM back in week 2. Able to grab this victory for themselves. And as you know, it's always time to head over to Twitter once the champions are locked in and show the team some love. So tweet at LOL Esports with the hashtag TSM win or the hashtag CLG win, and we'll be updating that fan poll throughout the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go live with El Clasico. We've been waiting for this match all day. The crowd's ready. Everyone at home is ready. And we three on the desk, we're more than ready. Let's get jump into this match. TSM on the blue side, CLG on the red. We are on to the Rift. In-house fans of Team Solomid seem to be more abundant today, but the Counter Logic Gaming chants are still there underneath the chants of the TSM. The fans still ready to get behind their team. Doublelift now with the cast off, with the bandages off, back at full.
Yeah, I mean, the last time this matchup in the spring split happened for a battle for first place was when both TSM and CLG were 5-1. Obviously, this is their second matchup in the summer. But still, 7-2 is an incredibly impressive record for both of these teams, and it's still a match for that first place. A lot of pressure, a lot of fandom on the line, and this game will be a good determinant of who's better next for the end of the split.
Oh, Xmithie.
Oh, going to pulverize Xmithie. He went down first yesterday. He goes down first again in a bad spot. Again at the wrong time. Doublelift and the rest of the team have a lot of follow-up DPS here.
The face
stop, though.
How does that happen? 2 games in a row for Xmithie to die within the first 2 levels.
Well, it's a face check into the pixel brush. That is never recommended, whether you're invisible or not.
Oh, man. What a way to start this game.
I'm going to go back.
Yeah, we're going to see that again.
Yeah, continue.
Both teams headstrong in the idea they had in the beginning of the game, but TSM with the team in mind while they were doing it. See it. CLG thinking they could sneak one person in for a deep ward there.
Yeah, he got the ward at least.
He got it.
Yeah, so
this happens again.
He was following Santorin in. He thought it was just a jungler, but there's no vision on literally anyone else. It's a careless move without a Thresh or something right behind you that could counter with the Flay. You're against an Alistar at level 1, one of the most formidable level 1 opponents in League of Legends.
Right.
Yeah, we can't justify that, so we can stop trying.
It's a big mistake.
The boomerang also going full after the Jarvan instead of going to the brush could have alerted them, but yeah, they open door number 1 and get an Alistar in the face.
You don't have to open a door that early. There's no point in the risk.
We'll see what TSM can use out of this. Very, very fast first blood, and everybody was able to get participation in that. The kill going over to Wildturtle to get a Tristana going early helps even more for their bot lane. And Aphromoo just seconds short of actually picking himself up a kill on Dyrus.
So it is the lane swap that we thought was going to be happening. There's no flash on Lustboy's Alistar, so the eventuality of a turret dive is a little bit diminished. Maybe we wouldn't see a mid lane turret dive later on in the game, but still lane swap with the Trist, able to push on her own.
Right. Plus TSM, they have the possibility of getting a 3 buff. Now, 3 buff itself doesn't hold as much value as it did before. You can get just as much experience from a small camp, but the fact that they cleaned that side of the map might be of more importance because they do have other camps to go to on that last quadrant. Left for mining.
Some stats on Azir. We actually saw that being banned away from Phoenix earlier today out of respect. Bjergsen also good kill share and damage provided throughout a game on that. We saw him being a very big reason for them to win late game team fights recently.
So this is an interesting little tweak that TSM is doing to the 4v0. They're only sending 3 because they know they're going to kill the turret anyway, and they're using this space window to get Santorin a really big experience lead over Xmithie. Xmithie not only died at level 1, that didn't necessarily hurt his experience, but when he's in the lane, giving the farm to others and just kind of trading between 4, but Santorin is actually clearing 3/4 of the jungle. That's what's going to be what puts Santorin ahead by a pretty wide margin.
Yep, looking to freeze that lane for CLG. But yeah, basically the extra quadrant of jungle that TSM were able to farm, it wasn't just a buff steal away, getting small camps as well. A lot of extra resources there on the map just for them to be able to get, and that's where they've got this big gold lead in addition to that first blood boost.
Ooh, just watching Zion in the top lane. He's actually missing quite a bit of this free CS. It's going to hurt with these guys not really having any levels. He's on it. He'll get it locked down. Just a lot of caster minions focus firing on one.
Xmithie's looking to punish the solo lane here. Dyrus pushing up. But because Doublelift didn't get back to lane in time, it's going to be difficult to pull off.
Flash.
This could help quite a bit. Right into the turret. Wow.
A rare mistake there from Aphro. And Dyrus pulls off the very small baby sidestep while slowed from the play, but it's enough.
Wildturtle to the top lane to stop any of this nonsense of free farming ZionSpartan. Hopefully he can start pushing that in.
That's a bunch of
himself.
Yeah, Riv, that's a bunch of misplays we've seen. Just little minor things from CLG.
Right.
Missed CS by Zion on the top lane when he had a small window before the lane was going to get pushed in. Aphromoo down at the bottom side. Yes, Dyrus was able to juke that, but flaying into a hook. Also, Xmithie just kind of jumped the gun, it felt like, or half hesitation in going for that Dyrus gank. And the face check early on in the game. Definitely not the way CLG wants to start out if they're looking to get their first win against CLG or Team Liquid this year.
Yeah, only makes it harder that everything has been fizzling out in favor of Team Solomid here. 6 minutes in, CLG getting a push down on the bottom side as top getting pushed in now from Wildturtle. Junglers sharing each other's side of the top and bottom now as these turrets soon to fall.
Yeah, Pobelter doesn't have Ghost. He still does have Flash.
Oh, man.
He can flash the first part of the combo here. Doesn't even need to.
The puddle was very well placed by Pobelter right there. You can see TSM's strategy is mimicking their champion select, though, just in the way they're playing the lanes. Already taking the 2 outer turrets with Tristana and then looking for mid lane turret dives with Alistar. That's how they're supposed to be using these champions.
Yeah, even pre-6, looking to pile in there and punish the Kog'Maw. Very vulnerable. Doublelift can even up the turrets at his leisure, though. Just wait around and deny as many minions as possible.
Also, just a tad ahead in CS. Hope that he's behind on that kill so far that Wildturtle has. I go back to the bottom lane, maybe able to work something off of this. No jungle pressure. Doublelift's just really trying to get the wave killed as much as possible. Poll calculated 67 to 33 so far, and I'm sure a few of those votes were just in the first minute as we saw Xmithie go down for that first blood. Still something CLG's trying to repair, but just about 1,000 gold lead is still a game here between TSM and CLG.
Pobelter has to be really, really careful. Hug the bottom side of the map too, where they have all their ward coverage, their strong side. As Jarvan, definitely one of the champions to punish Kog'Maw very easily as we went over.
Yeah. You can see the average blades on both the AD carries as well.
Again, yeah.
Since they've already taken down the 2 side waves, I wonder how much passivity we're going to be seeing from CLG throughout this, knowing that they're already playing from a deficit and they have a tier Kog'Maw in the mid lane who won't be that relevant until he completes at least Luden's Echo. Basically, that early mistake will create a lot of passivity for CLG, who sometimes likes to make plays. We knew they were going to have to play passive early game regardless against the Alistar potential roam. This just kind of exacerbates that point about their team composition a bit more.
Going to that late game, are going to be quite hard to fight against the Dyrus if he gets any more fad Wildturtle as well. ZionSpartan's going to have to get pretty big in his lane to get through the damage that's going to come through on the front line. Things looking good for TSM as they slowly hold on to what lead they have right now. Not looking to pressure it or put themselves in any dangerous positions just yet. Pobelter in mid lane staying safe as well as he stacks tier here. TSM always knows and feels that they have better mechanical prowess in the late game fight, so if it comes to that, they're more than happy to.
So Dyrus, luckily for him, his wave is pushing towards him already anyway. So even taking out that pink ward and even having Xmithie up there, not in quite so much danger because they do have 2 pink wards in the river. So if he comes up that way, then he would have an alert system. Xmithie could go for a lane gank, but he's gotten so low trying to clear his jungle. He's not going to have that presence.
I mean, this is
Loses out on that trade.
This is a very similar Evelyn game to what Xmithie had against Team Liquid. A mistake early, and Evelyn's one of those junglers who you really don't want to fall behind on because it's all about her pressure within her first couple of items in those power spikes because there's no item build currently that really scales well for Eve to make her a late game threat. You're always just kind of mix and matching components. He'll be late to his warrior outbreak. He was late with early pressure. He's going to be late to this entire game for the most part, and the rest of CLG has to make plays.
Sivir ultimate teleport in.
Yep, Zion got in already. Nice hit. They are going to be able to get a slow onto Turtle here. He's not going to be going too far without boots, and he goes down.
Take advantage of the long lane. Duo pushed up here for TSM, and the teleport for Dyrus.
Yep. And Xmithie had just been back to base as well, so he will be full health. Santorin, I thought TSM was going to be trying to force a dragon shortly, but thanks to that Sivir ultimate timing with the collapse from ZionSpartan's teleport, they could go for this one. It's going to be hard for TSM to contest. Azir and Trist back in the base. They'd have to teleport in with Rumble to go for something.
Santorin looking to go in here. He's level 6 double buffs.
They have good coverage for the fight. Doublelift just below them with 0 mana on the fight,
The longer they wait here, the more likely it is they're going to teleport in.
So much free damage from that dragon. Very, very low goes ZionSpartan, and very, very down he is as well. Pobelter right in the front, not where he wants to be. He's trying to walk out of this one. Xmithie's able to come up with the dragon for the team as they hightail it out of there. 1 harpoon, the attack, 2 harpoon as Dyrus overheats. It doesn't activate.
Not
They already
done
have
yet.
that first one shot. Now on to Doublelift. He came into this one with no mana, trying to help the team and just put himself in a bad spot. These guys got themselves a good amount of kills across the board for Team Solomid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Xmithie, he's got to play.
He's invisible. It's fine.
For now. This is where we think he is. The observers can't see either. Let's see how the guess was. Hey, good guess.
Well, it's not a guess. They can leave it locked on him even if you can't see him.
Oh, really? You can do that?
Yeah. All day.
Today I learned.
But he is going to get out of it with his life. And they did get the dragon because Santorin smoked the dragon for some health there to survive and able to continue the fight. The first early dragon here, though, because TSM have the global gold lead, probably won't need that much.
The whole setup to this fight was just TSM stalling CLG on that dragon and waiting for Bjergsen to arrive so that CLG would have to completely bail out. Yes, they got the dragon, but then since the collapse arrived, there was really no chance for the rest of CLG. CLG was not committing their damage onto the dragon when they had the window to take it, when Azir and Trish were down bottom, and they ended up getting caught in a very poor fight.
And unfortunately for them, the money went to Dyrus there. Dyrus getting that kill is huge for the next dragon fight. So CLG are going to have a really hard time using that dragon to try and stack up, even though they have timing and they've got one already. TSM are going to have a huge advantage that when the next one does come up, Dyrus is going to be fully ready to roll.
Getting earlier dragons in the past 2 games than our average with these 4-0 lane swaps coming in to take that turret down. Good ward keeps Wildturtle alive that he just placed down on the top side.
There's a lot of pressure that TSM is trying to apply right now onto CLG, getting deep wards within that jungle. Even if they don't get kills, the map pressure is pretty immense. All the while they're doing this, they're leaving a window for Bjergsen to take the mid lane.
Scary, scary thing if you're going to be fighting an Alistar and a Rumble in those choke points in the jungle. CLG is forced to back off. But like you said, Jatt, mid-chart was already going down, and TSM is working off the ball very well right now, making sure they're getting more than one thing every time they act on it.
Yeah, it's always that line that you tread when you are going for the split push. We saw it bite Wildturtle last time, not able to get out of the lane with Sivir ultimate. This time, though, Doublelift wasn't quite there to assist the CLG gank squad with the Sivir ultimate, so he's going to try and use it on the bottom lane.
Oh, Dyrus gonna go down. Not much he can do here. Turns and retreat for the Flame Spitter. But that definitely goes to Aphromoo, and that's definitely not what they wanted. 2-0-1 for him now.
I feel like that was an unnecessary ignite from Aphromoo. They had the 3v1.
Right.
And that's only going to lead to an accidental KS. That's now the 2nd kill from Aphromoo.
Especially when you bring the fight to the teleport.
And there, TSM, they continue with this split push strategy, but they weren't applying pressure in any of the other lanes there. Bjergsen had gone back to get blue, and Turtle can't really pressure Zion up to the turret. Tristana, yes, she can take down turrets if she's left alone with them, But the threat there from Gnar, fully stacked up on Rage, not enough to gain anything out of the split from Dyrus there, who was vulnerable on the bottom side with no wards and no tower. So CLG, that's the second time they've punished a TSM split with a Sivir ultimate. And TSM, once again, not really respecting the distance that you can close with that Sivir ultimate. And yeah, that's 2 kills.
This is going to be tough for Pobelter now.
Xmithie just got pushed around in the jungle by Wildturtle as well. We saw he had to use his ultimate. Wildturtle just jumping on him in the jungle. I do have to note, Kobe, though, I was told by the observers that they were following Evelyn by best guess. They confirmed they did not lock onto Evelyn.
Ooh.
So
okay, can you lock onto Evelyn, though?
We'll have to find out later. This will be the secondary storyline to our TSM CLG mega match.
Observer Easter eggs at 11. 15 minutes into this game, 4-3 here, and slight gold lead for TSM. They look to push the bottom lane now. This is Bjergsen now working the mid lane by himself, so we'll see if he can actually get more pressure. Nobody's actually reacting to that. Looks like he can get some good damage down, especially with soldiers.
All right.
Yeah.
Pobelter so close to completing this loot, and CLG just want to hold on.
But it's a 2-level disadvantage in the mid lane because of the pressure the TSM's been able to apply. And yes, Bjergsen with the Azir and the Tristana. This is a turret-killing composition that TSM can try and snowball the game with, since they had that early advantage and they are split pushing and just trying to create turret dive threat. As far as the quickness of taking down turrets, matching those 2 up, Azir and Trist, I don't think you can find a combo that bursts them faster.
Yeah, but as you get deeper and deeper, they get harder and harder to take. And I always want to caution against counting out the team with the AP Cog mid. With these kills that CLG have been able to scrape together, I mean, they're only actually down 1 turret right now.
Right.
And that makes up for pretty much the entire gold lead that TSM have. So while TSM have great map control right now, they have super deep wards because of it, and they have control of the game. Got to be very careful against, playing around with an AP Kog'Maw if CLG can play turret defense.
And a lot of the ways that CLG has gained their advantages there is based on the Sivir ultimate and the team collapsing around it. The 2 people that CLG have ahead with Doublelift and ZionSpartan, those advantages basically come from the kill onto Wildturtle and the kill on Dyrus while they were trying to push those side waves, and it has contained their ability to farm. All the while, of course, Bjergsen has been pushing up the mid lane.
Well, it will be imperative for CLG at least to grab back the bottom half of the jungle. Pobelter with that damage is going to need his blues. And with Dragon now about to go in favor of Team Solomid, they can back up.
Blue buff when he has Ludens is just the most important thing.
I think this Dragon does go over to TSM, and CLG make the call to continue with their split push with Zion. It would be pretty difficult for them to go for this one, just because Pobelter's still not level 11. So I think they're fine with giving that one up, and both teams will get their 6%. Walking through these jungle corridors into an Azir that is as strong as you pointed out there is very, very, very difficult. So.
Giving respect where they need to, playing it safe so they can actually have a better mid to late game. Counterlogic Gaming does not contest the Dragon. Definitely a lot more action within this one. Teams a bit more ready to start fighting here 20 minutes into the game, but no real swing to the game just yet.
Without
TSM, a bit of a lead.
Yeah, TSM, I'm looking for them to use Dyrus because he got that. The fact that he got that kill, he does have the flat penetration for his Rumble, and Azir can't. Azir plus Alistar have so much of an ability to control the enemies on the battlefield, so much displacement here on the TSM team. They can set up a really good fight if they choose the correct terrain, and Santorin creates the correct terrain for them with that Jarvan ult.
What I find interesting about that is that most of TSM's abilities will be flashed out of and then become really ineffective, and since it's been so long since we've seen a team fight, TSM needs to create some smaller fights to burn the summoner spells if they're going to win a big landslide of a team fight. We talked about Pobelter needing his flash up most of the time, how Santorin can just blow his flash with Cataclysm and then get him again. Well, has he even Cataclysm Pobelter yet? We haven't had the opportunity to, but before we see the game-changing fight, I think we have to see a game-altering fight.
And that's something that people have been on Santorin for at various moments when he opts for a lot of hard farming routes rather than going for lane pressure. Yeah. Jarvan, though,
Not
Jarvan does have 2 gap closers, and Kog'Maw only has 1 flash. You can still make a play with that 2 visits.
So, a bit of a stalemate as the resources are grabbed, camps are picked up, and waves are pushed into the spots that teams are going to want them now. A little bit of preparation here before they make their next moves, and this could actually work out for Team Solomid as they're making their way towards an empty jungle. Still forward wards getting pushed in their favor. That does not look like they will find any CLG members just yet. Even in CLG's mind, they know they have to respect the composition and play safe.
Yeah, TSM want a fight now, whereas CLG would rather trade objectives. So they sent Doublelift down bottom. Sivir can quickly pressure a lane and clear the minion wave. The problem is that they don't have a lot of vision to perfectly call that trade. So blue buff goes away. There's your deny of the level 11 Kog'Maw Luden blue that you're looking for. And TSM are able to split their resources. Doublelift has to recall, and TSM have control.
Definitely something we should keep an eye on. 25 minutes just around for the next blue buff. We'll see what TSM's positioning is there. Right now it's the mid. Flash for a flash. Bjergsen's out for the better. Aphromoo still will be able to try for a hook later, just not as big as a long-range engage.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder for CLG to keep up their farm as well as they lose more and more control of the map here. Pobelter's not near a point where he can be super effective. He has the Ludens, but 2-level disadvantage and no blue buff keeps him at bay.
421 stacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CLG's direction of Doublelift is paramount right now. They have to utilize this Sivir and Kog'Maw wave clear very efficiently. If they blink for 1 second and TSM gain 1 minion wave, they can take down that last turret so quickly. That's why we see the rotation there was very quick for CLG to send Doublelift up top and take out that minion wave.
And it's going to be difficult for CLG to find team fights as well, even if they have a slight jump, because there are 3 spells that displace CLG backwards on TSM side. Azir, Tristana, and Alistar can all push you away from a fight. And it's just so much vision control on top of the difficulty to initiate.
Also think about who they can separate. If they cataclysm somebody, you can just say, nope, we're pushing the rest of you away. Very interesting options that they have. But option of Baron, looks like, is not one of those. They get pushed off 2 minutes onto the Dragon, so they still want to stay healthy for that situation as well.
And TSM want to play that a little bit more aggressively. The Baron was at half when they pulled off, and it was just a Sivir and a Thresh closing in. A little bit of fear of a Baron throw is what stopped TSM from doing that one. Zion hadn't even begun to channel his teleport. Stop that. I think that could have been a TSM Baron in a big game swing.
TSM do have both mid turrets down, so if they were able to get deeper vision inside this red buff jungle, returning to that sort of play, definitely an option. Dragon coming up though in a minute means that a much less risky neutral objective available for them to pull out the CLG squad. CLG obviously going to be looking for the poke before the end of the day. Pop Sivir ultimate.
Hope for that poke building up for them. Just under 500 stacks. Pobelter has quite a while not really being able to farm anything or have these fights to charge up in. It's going to be difficult. Still able to poke, just not with that blue.
Yeah. And the most interesting thing about this game for me is how the difference in pressure is not reflecting in the gold right now. It's a 1,000 gold game with equal dragons on both sides. And even now, it's just a 1-level difference in the mid lane, but that is mirrored in the top lane, and Xmithie's actually out-leveling Santorin at this point. So
yeah, after the beginning.
For all that CLG has been getting pushed in, they're not getting punished in incredibly powerful ways. They're staying really, really close and could maybe even contest this dragon fight if they did it just right.
CLG does usually stay focused very well in situations where they're determining what's beating them down and how it's happening. Both of these teams are actually pretty good at that. It's the late game fights that have been plaguing them. It looks like they're going to pressure each other into that situation here. Only 4-3 at 23 minutes. Not a lot is gained after fights. I think we're going to get the long haul here and hope the players are ready for it. Dragon is alive, probably going to be our next matchup. And it's going to be just about 1.5 minutes for CLG's blue as well. So this could lead right one into the other.
CLG, though, have been able to get the Scuttle Crab as well. So they've got positioning, they've got vision, they have a speed boost, they have everything they need here.
Yeah, the only thing they could use is a blue buff on Pobelter, but they have to be careful not to take too much damage from the dragon. This is what happened last time, which prepped them for a bad fight. This will start if the top laners decide to teleport in.
Santorin looking with Lustboy to dive into this one. The Voidoo's hit. Santorin looking to go in. Lustboy gets a very nice 3-man pulverize. Santorin still does not want it just yet. Lustboy's going to die by himself. He's left. Looks like the dragon will also be picked up here in a bit of hesitation as ZionSpartan came in with the teleport. It's what caused TSM to balk on engaging.
A bit of a strange fight there. No one willing to follow up on Lustboy, maybe waiting for the disengage. And I feel like Zion's teleport from the backside dissuaded TSM from following Lustboy. But for whatever advantage that TSM had built up, not being able to capitalize on it in a mid-game team fight like that is a little bit perplexing.
Very big miscommunication there for TSM.
Oh boy.
Doublelift though.
Oh my lord.
He didn't even need to hit the full equalizer. Hot damn. Dyrus cooking up Doublelift in the bot lane. And CLG, if they're starting to get kills across the map here and dragons when they shouldn't be, things are going to start falling in their favor.
I mean,
regardless.
We saw 1 kill for each team. Secondary dragon, the bonus is not really meaningful, and they've already traded a 1 dragon, so the stack not going to be that big of a deal until we get later into the game as well. So, pretty much where we were before.
Yeah, let's keep playing. CLG is still down in turrets. And the Baron, I think, is the avenue in which TSM should probably pressure if they can get the correct vision denial and actually follow up on another initiation like that from Lustboy. The potential is really huge for a big initiation, not to mention the kill distribution on CLG. It has half their kills on Aphromoo. So with the gold being close, the spread of the gold is actually non-ideal for CLG.
Over, Pobelter has his blue, finally able to start charging that puppy up. He needs to get that extra shield for himself to stay safe in these fights. Lustboy's been going in quite hard with Santorin, except for the last fight. See if they can get back onto the same pages. It's all about the mid lane now. Bjergsen right behind the team with blue buff himself as they set up base just outside CLG's. Not a choke point you want to fight, and they're actually going to try to chase this. Equalizer is up, and they decide not to walk through the welcome area.
Dyrus a couple pixels away from that Zion stun landing as well. Bjergsen, though, providing so much threat with the soldiers from Azir. He's their strongest player. He's the most fed champion, and he dissuades the team. Here comes a vision play.
Said maybe we're standing on a ward, guys.
I mean, Kog'Maw at this point, vision plays are so difficult to pull off as Pobelter rises in level and the range increases. Now he's got blue buff, so
that's the big thing.
Easily able to check these brushes.
Blue buff and his tier upgraded.
Yep, sorcery elixir as well. He's just chugged through. You can see that on him. Pobelter standing strong. 4 in the mid lane now. Xmithie might be trying to grab Raptor here so they can get up and make sure they're not getting caught on vision. If they try to get a side swipe, Bjergsen almost able to take down Doublelift with a few casts there. Soldiers probably would have zeroed him out quite fast.
That cautionary tale of the boy who played around with the AP Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that one of my favorites.
Here, it's begun. This is the AP Kog'Maw poke. Pobelter has carried numerous games already this split by getting to a later game version of AP Kog'Maw. TSM has even lost a game having 5 dragons up against Cloud9 because of Incarnation's AP Kog'Maw. It's a very dangerous and real threat here.
It puts a lot of pressure on TSM to make a game-changing all-in play. So they have to have confidence. They also have to have timing. And something that they have been able to beat CLG at in the past is execution on team fights in the mid game. So yes, they are in a pinch and they do have the pressure on them. It's on the onus of this team fight is on TSM to make the play, but they have had success with it before.
Yeah.
Getting into pretty dangerous ground. Trying to walk up to a turret here. The engage from TSM is still very much there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of dangerous ground in this game for both teams. Even if you think about a fight in the jungle corridors, you don't want to fight a Rumble or an Azir in the jungle, but you don't want to fight a Gnar with all the walls around for a giant ultimate either. These teams are approaching these fights with ultimate caution because even though CLG had that whoopsie at level 1 with Xmithie that really did feel at the moment like it was going to sway against CLG since they've had a history of losing to these teams, and that would be a catalyst for them to kind of go on tilt. they have recovered.
Yeah.
And they have turned this into a very competitive match.
It definitely took the team to do that as well. Got to make sure that Xmithie got through the early part of the game safely. He wasn't countered anymore. And ZionSpartan also stayed safe and laying a few kills. Did go TSM's way due to that early game, but CLG now getting Doublelift fed, trying to get that Sivir into a position to hard carry, and trying to get Pobelter safe enough so he can do the same. Just 30 minutes in here. Team Solomid getting to a point where the fights could go in their favor due to that mechanical prowess. Dragons in just 1 minute, so we don't have to wait long for the fight either.
Gold is dead even.
Yeah.
Doublelift intimidating the crowds there too.
Seesaw game back.
See
and
this
forth.
boomerang? I don't need this. This is for the next generation. All right, well, let's see if the deep rewards from TSM do pay off, because that is one thing that they can use to pull off a flank and make that all-in play on CLG.
Not the one they want, but it is the one that they want. Santorin heads in with the Jarvan IV Cataclysm, locks it up for the team. Trist, Rumble, picking up kills. Dyrus and Wildturtle very happy about that. The Shurima slide into Doublelift, tries to cut off another finger, and he's going to succeed, but goes down.
I mean, we were waiting for the game-changing play. All summoners burned right away. What a wombo by TSM, but with Bjergsen going down there, Baron damage is low. It's a lone defense right here. Pobelter coming in from the back
Zion,
side.
charge that bar!
Artillery gonna rain down.
14 Gnar, gonna get blasted away and alt the river. What timing by Wildturtle. Team Solomid now grabs the Baron. They're gonna turn onto ZionSpartan. If they can get that close onto Pobelter, not gonna be good. The flag and drag hits. Pobelter too close for his own good, and he gets a whack to the head from Santorin. Great plays all around from Team Solomid. Pick up the Baron and basically ace CLG.
Lustboy playing offensive line and defensive line for CLG. He is all over the place.
Headbutt into Buster Shot at the end. Let's take a look at this wombo once again, though. So they hook Lustboy vision control-wise, but that's exactly what TSM was waiting for.
Equalizer.
And it didn't even matter that CLG had flashes up.
That was
because
gorgeous.
The equalizer landed the instant the knock-up did, so the damage was dealt by the time they flashed away. Bjergsen tried to make a hero play and was mostly punished. Taking down Doublelift, though, was just enough window that TSM needed to take down the Baron.
Taking down Doublelift was huge. Imagine if Doublelift was still up right for the Baron, as you said.
Yeah.
So going down was #worth.
Once again, the team fight execution from TSM pulls them into the lead. And with that Baron buff, now they can start knocking down turrets, making use of that deeps.
Got some free time. This is where you're talking about it, chat. Once Azir and Tristana reach those turrets, not long for this world.
That was a beautiful initiation once again.
This is why Alistar is first pick, ban-worthy all across the world.
So much control the team has in the play as well. I think Bjergsen really need to get his ultimate out. That's one. Lustboy going in. This could be much like the Dragon fight where the team's not able to follow and they have to leave him out to dry again. Getting a little hyphy on that one, but they are able to get the pickup kill onto Pobelter, a little too close to his own base wall.
They should be able to get one after that.
That's probably worth at this point. The main way to clear is Pobelter, and they still have their turret killers up.
Support for mid, that's like a pawn for the queen. You're definitely happy if you get in that situation.
Great trade.
Great trade from Team Solomid. Onto the turret now. Bjergsen in. Back and forth. Ping pong with Pobelter. And rather ping pong with Doublelift. He goes down. And it's going to be ZionSpartan out to the side. He can't do much, but watch the inhibitor go down. And another member in Xmithie has fallen in this fight. It's going to be tough for CLG to hold their base if they're falling faster than the Team Solomid members.
And they leave the scene of the crime. Can go clean up Dragon right after that. Easy pickup there for TSM. Makes the game so much easier to have that door open into the base. Inhibitor turret down on the best side for it to be down.
What did you see that makes him want to go in? Nothing.
He's just Doublelift.
He saw that Doublelift was within range of his Sand Soldier because Bjergsen had prepped it prior, waited for his Q to come off cooldown again, therefore could get the extended range on his dash to get behind him for the ultimate. So just a nice combo there by Bjergsen on the turret, blowing up Doublelift and just kind of killing Xmithie by mistake.
That was his last bit of mana too, so they were ready to go in. He was like, you know what? I have one last drop. Let's take out Doublelift. Successful mission. They have achieved another kill in their favor. Now 14-7 here. It's about 6,000 to 7,000 gold lead as it ticks up. Team Solomid prepping once again on their side of the map before they head back over to the court of Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a while for neutrals to come up, so really, if they just kind of close the noose here and they transfer some of their wards over from the blue side up to the red side, they can just corral CLG inside their base and starve them of the map until something comes up.
Bjergsen again throwing in that spell vamp for himself so he can stay in these fights, kind of negate that poke that he's going to be receiving. He's done it before.
Yep.
Actually had to do it within his item recipe last time. Now it's just kind of a surplus to keep him in these fights for a little bit longer.
CLG trying to absorb the extra gold there. Doublelift trying to clear as quickly as possible, but that might be all that TSM need to gain position on this turret. They do have Alistar once again, and diving these secondary turrets is very easy. These are very dangerous turrets to defend, especially since this is the last one for CLG. And TSM are fielding the Dive King himself.
It's a turret-busting team composition through and through. Not only can they kill turrets incredibly fast with his Tristana, they can also tank turrets better than almost any other champion in the game because of the flat damage reduction Lustboy gets from his ultimate. These turrets, it'll be interesting to see if TSM is willing to go without minions, because I think CLG can keep the minion wave back. And maybe they just wait for Baron, but we've seen some pretty aggressive moves from TSM in the last 10 minutes that could reflect otherwise.
Yeah, they do have teleport on Dyrus. They could accelerate the process of the super minions pushing into the base to try and draw some attention of CLG away, but they're not even going to commit to it. They have 5 people bursting down the turret.
Yeah, Santorin basically gone.
Yeah, Santorin gets grabbed. That means the hook is down. So is the pressure. He dunks ZionSpartan out of midair. Santorin coming big on the Jarvan plays lately. Lustboy under the turret where he needs to be with the Unbreakable Will on and gets out with just a sliver of health. They're going to be on the inhibitor. They get a perfect dive and engage there without losing anybody. And they're going to wait it out. They're going to say, we want more of the base. We have another inhibitor to take down. And they got eyes on it.
There's a lot of really quality coordination coming out from TSM in these turret dives. Bursting down the turret and just dunking with Santorin going in. That's going to be inhibitor number 3 most likely.
Very, very tough to get away from the plays when TSM can close the gap from such a distance. 4 members really. Dyrus the only one that can't close it, but the equalizer's already there with the team if necessary, so they are using it great.
Yeah, it was just a great hard initiation from TSM to punish the Kog'Maw pick.
Right.
We've seen so many teams have great difficulty with successfully engaging on AP Kog'Maw comps, but TSM just get that one play from Lustboy, basically. It was the entire team following up and communication between them all to pull it off.
Lustboy, he's in can't see me mode. All right, he just wants to make sure it's clear.
Hey, buddy.
Where is TSM going? Looks like they're trying to make CLG march to the beat of their drum down mid lane here with the super minions at least. Waiting for that bottom lane that'll soon be crushing in as well. It's all just a matter of time before they put the final touches on CLG's base. Very big gold lead for TSM here. And what a game to explode in the middle for TSM. And there's the hook. Bjergsen again waiting it out to make sure he knows where the hook is going. The initiation's on. Aphromoo gets locked into the back, and they actually take the Lantern into the Cataclysm. So Doublelift brings himself to safety in that one.
Empty. That was from one equalizer. The Pobelter from 98% of his health. Beautiful placement in the corridor there by Dyrus. Inhibitors down.
It's over.
It's over.
May not be a fight that they want. ZionSpartan over the wall, able to take 1 kill out. Staves off a bit of the aggression, but TSM, the DPS guys for the turrets are already in the base. Bjergsen and Wildturtle able to crush these down. They turn on a Doublelift. He gets stabbed from Azir soldier, taken down. A double kill for Bjergsen, looking for the triple if he's got the slide, but he decides to stay in place with the team, and they decide to take down the Nexus team. Solomid on the split. 2-0 over Counterlogic Gaming for the summer in the NALCS. TSM takedown Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah, and 4-0 for the year. This means CLG would not be able to get a win against TSM unless they meet in the playoffs.
Spring and summer, 4-0.
The domination in this matchup continues for Team Solomid. Started at level 1, killing Xmithie. CLG fought back pretty valiantly, evening the gold, making it exactly even about 25 or 8 minutes into the game. But then Lustboy and the whole TSM squad just decided to go.
well, Xmithie did repair the early game. I feel like there was still that bit of pressure they couldn't provide. If everything was level from the get-go, Eve would have done much more instead of repair the game. He did a good job at it, though. They could definitely play from behind, but Team Solomid, if they get a lead, they don't let go of it very often.
Great job from all of the DPS members of TSM and the front line to set them up. Turtle never had one of those reckless moments. He was able to use his flash as well as his jump to stay safe for the majority of the game.
It was Bjergsen the one in the range for the hooks this time and still was able to flash out, making good plays